right. While we're thinking about that, think about this. The 1960s were a turbulent time for our country as President Johnson escalated U.S. military involvement in Vietnam. Protests against the war grew. Aaron Sorkin focuses on this period in his latest project, The Trial of the Chicago 7. He wrote and directed the film. It follows the clashes between anti-war protesters and police at the 1968 Democratic National Convention. 7 protest organizers were charged with conspiracy. Their trial is considered one of the most notorious in U.S. history.
We've heard testimony from 27 witnesses under oath that say you hoped for a confrontation with the police, that your plans for the convention were designed specifically to draw the police into a confrontation.
Well, if I'd known it was going to be the first wish of mine that came true, I would have aimed a lot higher.
It's a yes or no question. When you came to Chicago, were you hoping for a confrontation with the police? I'm concerned you have to think about it.
And Aaron Sorkin joins us now. Good morning, Aaron. This takes place in 1968, 69, but you really wanted this to be a contemporary film.
That's right. I wanted it to be about today, and it is. We didn't realize just how much it was going to be about today until we got to today. But I didn't want it to be an exercise in nostalgia or a history lesson. I wanted to put as little between the film and the audience as possible.
But this project actually started, what, 14 years ago on a Saturday when you went to Steven Spielberg's house in Pacific Palisades?
That's right. In 2006, on a Saturday morning, I was asked to come to Steven Spielberg's house, which I should point out is uncommon. I don't hang out with Steven Spielberg. And he said that he wanted to make a movie about the riots in Chicago in 1968 and the conspiracy trial that followed.
And you actually knew nothing about the Chicago 7.
I really didn't. I had said to Stephen, that sounds great, count me in, I'm on board, and then immediately called my father and asked him what Stephen had been talking about, the riots in Chicago. I had a vague sense that there had been some civil unrest at the Democratic Convention.
You've said that directing Chicago 7 was one of the most challenging things you've ever done.
Yes, it was incredibly challenging, though I had a lot of help from the cast, of course, and a great team of designers. But first of all, writing is challenging for me, writing a screenplay. Directing is new to me.
You talk about how challenging writing can be for you. I've read that you can be very animated when you're writing.
Yeah, if anybody saw me writing, they would have me locked up. I'm very physical. I'm talking out loud. I'm playing all the parts. I'm jumping up and down from my desk. Without really realizing I was doing it, I've walked like blocks away from my office while I was talking to myself. But those are the great moments. Those are like when you've got it and it's working. Those are the really great moments. The bad moments are when you're frozen in front of a blank screen with a flashing cursor.
One of the most powerful moments in the film is when Bobby Seale ends up in shackles, basically, in the courtroom. That's not an exaggeration, is it?
No. First of all, nothing in the film is an exaggeration. All of this happened. But surely the most terrible moment of the trial is when, as I said, Bobby Seale is taken away, roughed up by some U.S. Marshals, shackled, a gag put in his mouth, sort of tape around the gag. He was bound and gagged in an American courtroom.
You recently reunited with the original cast of The West Wing to benefit Michelle Obama's voter turnout initiative. What was it like collaborating with them again?
That was fantastic. It is a benefit for When We All Vote, which is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that just get out the vote group. It combats voter suppression. But what we did was we took an episode of The West Wing and we restaged it as a play. So we are literally doing everything any of us know how to do to get out the vote.
Aaron Sorkin, thank you very much. The Trial of the Chicago 7 is playing in select theaters now and can be streamed on Netflix October 16th. Also really looking forward to that West Wing reunion. Thanks again.